CUS TOTS test will actually take two different time frames for a customer or salesperson and summarize the time frame and put them together to take a look for trend analysis across a time frame. It can be done on customer, salesperson, even product number. I mean, you can almost select any field and it will do this summary and join it together. What I wanted to note, because in time frames of prior year and this year, there are situations where there are times where there's activity in one period but not another. And in that case, we need to use the primary and secondary join because we want to make sure in our example here that the customers file, say customers 1 file, is also matched up to customers 2 file, a second time frame. And when we're doing that join, we're doing it in a primary, secondary fashion to make sure that every customer is picked up. Now that's going to lead to a customer 1 field where it's blank at times, and maybe a customer 2 field that's blank at times if it existed in customer 1 but not customer 2, or customer 2 and not customer 1 respectively. So that's the value of this primary secondary join, is you're able to pick up both characteristics from both files. However, what we need to do is we need to define some fields, which happens in the text below, where you see the C number and C name being created if the prior information is blank. So, and as you'll see. So what we'll do here is we're going to jump into ACL and take a look at it to see how this happens more at the script level. Now in ACL, we can take a look at the CUS TOTS test, and I also want to make some quick changes to it as well that are better practices that I've learned over years. So we're going to make this L trim, and we can just have one blank space in between there. So what that's going to do is if the prior customer number is set up above here in the join statement, where we're basically taking, let me just scroll over to it. So we kind of take the current year sales as primary, match it up to prior year sales, and when we do that, you notice here that we can get the prior customer number is set as the customer number in that prior year file, and then the customer name is set as the prior customer name, again from that prior year file. So now that we have that, I'm going to down below here again just change this to L trim. I think what I had there works perfectly. It's 2 blank spaces. Customer numbers don't tend to start with blank spaces, but at the same time, I think the better way to do it is to make sure that there is a L trim there and just ensure that there's nothing in there. And once we've done that, it will then extract the information, current and prior information, to a new table, and then we're going to create some amount difference fields, some percentage difference fields as well, and again, something to take a look for, and then we will sort that in a descending fashion. So let's run this test so that we can now take a look at the results. To run the test, we'll right-click on the CUS TOTS script, and again, it's going to summarize by customer, salesperson, whatever you want, the total sales between periods. And we can select, in this case, it's asking for the invoice file, so we'll select the invoice file. And the prior year invoice file I have as invoice file LY, so last year. We're going to select the invoice amount, the customer number, and I don't have a customer name, so we'll select the customer number again. Same thing here, we're going to select the invoice amount, we're going to select the customer number again, and the customer number a third time. Again, this is from the prior sales file, and select OK. And by doing so, we can take a look and now see, current year sales, prior year sales, amount difference, and percent change, all calculated for our purposes.